Hey everybody, it's time for the Massidia Mayhem Ravine or Paladin race. So, how's everybody doing tonight? I hope you're as excited for this race as I am. This race has the potential to be the most epic hour of Final Fantasy IV that has ever been done in the history of anything and everything. So I'm pretty excited. And I'm really hoping it's going to be an exciting race. We have a lot of people in this race who are very close in times. We have a lot of people who are very experienced in running this game. We also have a lot of people who are not very experienced running this game, but all in all, everybody has very, very similar times that I'll show later, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So, with that being said, give me 1 second here. My computer's chugging a little bit with 13 streams open. So the rules of this race, the Ravine or Paladin race. So to start this tournament out about a month ago, we started with 13 groups, and we did 13 groups of 5. And within each of these 13 groups of 5, we did a round robin between all 5 members. And then whoever had the best record coming out of those groups moves on to a double elimination bracket. So there's one from each of the 13 groups. And they are seeded based on their record and their average race time. The second place finishers of those groups were all piled into this wonderful, wonderful Ravine or Paladin race, where they will compete for the final 3 spots of the 16-man double elimination bracket. Because of stream delay and because we don't really have a better way to officiate, the SRL times that people post will be the official times by which we are judging the results of this race. So, for example, I'm running 13 streams right now, or 14 streams, my bad. And any amount of buffering or who knows what can happen because my connection is getting destroyed right now. So what you see on the stream may not actually reflect where people are. It could be off by 10 to 15 seconds. I may also have to refresh people's streams throughout the race in case I get buffering problems and so on and so forth. So we're going to use Speedruns Live for the official times. So yeah, the top 3 finishers of this race will move on to the double elimination tournament, and the losers fall flat into the deep ravine. So before we get started, let's take a look at all of the groups and see the results of the groups and how everything turned out. So I picked groups at random, so there's no real order here. So we're going to start with Wyvern, Group Wyvern. The winner of Group Wyvern was Catastrophic 4. He went 4-0. One of his races was very interesting as he botched the misclip a little bit, but he was able to come out victorious. And in second place is ThatsFairZack, and ThatsFairZack is going to be the first participant in this race that you will be seeing today. And shoutouts to F. Coughlin, Jack Rakan 124, and Grimora for participating. Thank you guys. The next group is Group Waterhag. This is a really interesting group because there are a lot of seasoned FF4 veterans in this group, in Dusler and Rain. But surprisingly, 2 newcomers are the ones who escaped from this group. Parkbench went 4-0 and will take the 8th seed with his average time of 1:02.32. And Genya23 is going to be racing with us tonight. So good luck, and once again, thanks Dusler, Rain, and Lazarus for participating. Next we have Group Imp. And this was another very fascinating group. I think this group had the lowest average times across the board and was a very, very, very competitive group. And interestingly enough, a newcomer, Star of Violence, went 4-0 in this group, posting an average time of 1:01.46 and taking the 6th seed in the double elimination bracket. And advancing also was Fireball 13, you'll be seeing him. And shoutouts to Poexo, Lean1, and Frickenstein for participating. Thank you very much. I think Poexo and Lean both had some of the lowest average times of people who didn't manage to qualify. So, tough group for sure. Next up, we have Group Leviathan. That's not a typo, that's how they spell it in this game. Abba Jr., came out of FF4 retirement to do this tournament with us and was able to go 4-0 in this group. And he will take the 5th seed with an average time of 101.41. And racing with us today will be Creative Eli, going 3-1. And Nitsky, Lisa, and Kyrie, thank you very much for participating. Next, we have the tried and true group with the Roth taking home 1st place in that group and the number 3 seed in the double elimination bracket. And Velociraptor 42 will be racing with us today. DL Darklink, Stratosphere, and Calorfist, thank you for participating. Group Egg is next, and this is a very close group, very close at the top, and very close kind of down the line as well. Crumps 2 was able to go 4-0 in this group with an average time of 103.06, and Rynzer went 3-1. He lost to Crumps, but you'll notice he has a better average time than Crumps in 102.07. So really this tournament is part luck, part skill, part being in the right place at the right time. Exodin, Blue Viper, and Dreamer, thank you guys for participating in this tournament as well. I know Exodin put up some good times. Next is Group Bomb, where Griever Lionheart won the group and will take the 11th seed in the double elimination bracket. And finishing 2nd and participating today is RotomPoison with the 3-1. And a very fascinating fact about these two top finishers, the last race of the group was between those two, and Griever Lionheart won the race by a whole 3 seconds. It was a 101.26 to a 101.29. It was the closest race in the entire tournament. So it was a very, very epic finish for this group, and Griever moves on, and Rotom has to fight his way in. Game-breaking glitch, Gale, Alonfire, thank you guys very much. Up next we have Group Golbez. Some schmuck named Neerrm went 4-0 and posted the best average race time, so he'll get the number 1 seed. I hate that guy. And finishing 2nd in that group is Brossentia. Brossentia will be racing today. And Slurpy Ninja, Storm Crazy, and Solitaire, thank you for participating. Up next is Group Bacon, affectionately named after the 64 floor glitch that we all know and love and hate. Essentia was actually able to take the victory in Group Bacon, posting a 3-1. I believe Essentia lost to Slam Dunk Wizard, I'm not entirely sure. But Essentia did beat Khobahi in their one-on-one match. That is why Essentia is moving on, and Khobahi is in the Ravine Paladin race. Ordrius was somebody who stepped in late to the tournament. Thank you very much for stepping in and filling that hole for us. Slam Dunk Wizard and Neros also, thank you guys very much. And you'll notice Essentia is the 12th seed, despite having a lower average time, because she did go 3-1. Alright. Up next, Group Piggy. Feral Pigman, appropriately, is the winner of Group Piggy, going 4-0. And riversmccown is going to be racing with us today. That's also another pretty strong group, with Endless Tundra having an average time under 103. So very competitive. Like this tournament was astoundingly competitive, even considering over half of the people in this tournament had never done a speedrun in this game prior to this tournament. So the amount of which people practiced and were able to pick up the strats of this game is really quite amazing. Also, Antilles and Sheeran, thank you so much for participating. Alright, up next we have Group Toad, with Jaseed taking the victory in this group with an average time of 102.43. Congrats, Jaseed. No Cash, you'll notice, is also a 3-1, but because he forfeited his race against Cashline, the way we had tiebreakers determined is a forfeit is will automatically lose you a tiebreaker. So No Cash is doomed to the Ravine Paladin race, and Cashline, Ujasu, and Chelny are finishing out the group. And again, shout out to Chelny for jumping in a bit late into the tournament. We had somebody drop early, and Chelny was nice enough to jump in, so once again, thank you. Jaseed will also be number 13 seed, despite having an average time for being also 3-1. Alright, next group, Group Mini. Newcomer Silasha was able to take out Fathlo23 and Asian Blue Suasion, both of whom are more seasoned runners than Silasha was, so congrats Silasha for moving on. Silasha also had an average time of 101.29, putting Silasha up on the number 4 seed, which is very, very good for a newcomer. It's the highest seeded newcomer we have, so congratulations there. And because of that, Fathlo will be joining us today. Fathlo23, Asian Blue Suasian, Wolf, and J-Lo, thank you. And finally, we have a bit of an interesting turnout for Group Nightbat. You'll notice that Group Nightbat was won by Big Fong Balls with an average time of 1:1:16, which gets Bic the 2nd seed. So congrats, Bic, for having good races. But the interesting thing here is we had 3 people in Nightbat tie for 2nd place: Parlelian, TheSabin, and Rislyeu. And the way we have our rules set up is anybody that finishes 2nd in a group moves on to the Ravine or Paladin race. So surprise, we have 3 people from Nightbat in today's race. Thank you. Alright, and so that gives you an overview of everybody that's going to be in the race today. That yellow table on the right, we have ThatsFairZack, Jenya, Fireball, Created Eli, Velociraptor, Rynzer, RotomPoison, Brossentia, Khobahi, riversmccown, No Cash, Fathlo, Parlelian, TheSabin, and Rislyeu, all qualifying for this race. But once again, I would like to give a shout out to those people who did not advance. Without the 65 people participating in this tournament, it would not have happened, and it would not have been as great of a success as it's been so far. So thank you all so much. This tournament has been freaking amazing, and it's been one of the most amazing things I think I've ever experienced. And you know, if you look at the SDA forums now, there's a whole bunch of other games that are starting tournaments that are kind of using the same structure that we did. So what we're doing here really kind of spawned a whole thing, and it's really, really cool. And so everybody that participated that was unfortunate enough not to progress, you guys are amazing, you gals are amazing, you all are amazing. The amount of effort and time put into learning Final Fantasy IV, especially people who are new to the game, and the amount of time invested in just learning new strats and everything was just totally astounding, and it's really awesome to see everybody, new and old, come together and come into this tournament. So thank you guys so much. It's totally, totally cool. That being said, let's go ahead and take a look at the preview of the double elimination matches that are coming up. So we'll have number 8 seed Park Bench against number 9 seed Catastrophic 4, 7 seed Feral Pigman against 10th seed Crumps 2, 6th seed Star of Violence against Reaver Lionheart, 11th seed, Abda Jr., 5th seed against 12th seed Essentia 4, and 4th seed Silasha against 13th seed G-Seed. And you'll notice that Babroth, number 3 seed, Vic, number 2 seed, and me, number 1 seed, do not quite have an opponent yet. That is, of course, because the top 3 of that list on the right in this race today will be moving on to face the winner of this race will face the Rod. 2nd place of this race will face Vic, and 3rd place of this race will face me. So even if they get out of this Ravine or Paladin race, it doesn't get any easier. So good luck, racers. Good luck to everybody, and you're gonna need it. Alright, so I do have one surprise for everybody that's not in the FF4 admin team, or Wells JC. So you might be thinking, wow, there were 65 people in this tournament. Why? Why would you take the time to learn Final Fantasy IV? The answer is because it's fun, and it's because it's a great speed game to learn. It's a pretty good introductory RPG speedrun. But we have a little bit of added incentive now for those remaining in the double elimination tournament, and that is trophies. Wells JC was a fantastic person and is donating trophies to the top 3 winners, plus 1 more that's going to be handed out. And if you'll see the pictures from Wells, these are pretty amazing trophies. You got the Cecil icon, the Final Fantasy IV logo, a nice little stand, a nice little glass see-through trophies. They're pretty amazing. I'm pretty excited. Everybody in this tournament, everybody in this race should be excited about potentially getting a Final Fantasy IV trophy, because these things look amazing. And once again, thank you to Wells JC. Wells has been a supporter of a lot of FF4 streams across the board. When we were raising money for RPG Limit Break, Wells was a frequent donator. to a lot of our streams, and he's once again donating these trophies as a prize for this tournament. So if you see Wells JC in any chat anywhere, give him a hug, because he's the man. And with that being said, getting everybody hyped for these trophies and getting everybody hyped for this race, let's take a look and get this race underway. So bear with me here while I do a little bit of stream magic. Here we go. Alright, my computer didn't die, I'm happy about this. So here are the 14 racers in one giant view. Look at all these people ready to win. We have ThatsFairZack, Genya23, Rislyeu, and riversmccown in the top left, Fathlow23, Velociraptor42, and TheSabin in the top right. RotomPoison, Khobahi, and Rynzer in the bottom left, and Creative Eli, Fireball13, Brossentia, and Parlelian in the bottom right. It's a ton of people. It's going to be a great race. Unfortunately, No Cash was unable to get out of work for this race, so No Cash will not be participating in this race. So that's a bit unfortunate. Alright, so we are waiting on the go-ahead from the SRL race, and once that starts, I will kick off some music and we will get rolling. Looks like we're about ready to roll. Sorry, just some last minute confirmations that everybody's ready. Alright, 10 seconds, which should probably be about 20 seconds once my streams catch up. Alright, the SRL race has begun. I will let you guys know when my streams catch up. Well, obviously you'll see it. This is it, the Ravina Paladin race. Top 3 move on to the double elimination bracket. Good luck, everybody. So for the intro of this game, it's pretty self-explanatory. You get an intro battle. You get 2 battles on the airship. You can lose about a second if the game decides to troll you with ATB. You can also gain about a second. But really, the intro is just a bunch of dialogue, and there's not too much to say. Once they get to Baron Castle, it'll be a little more to talk about. So you notice they're fighting the float eyes and the ravens, and there's a chance to fight the raven without having the raven hit you. There's also a chance to fight the float eye without having the float eyes hit you. And getting no hits is ideal, but it's basically uncontrollable unless you're myself 086. So in the Castle of Baron, one thing you'll notice all of the runners doing is they'll be grabbing a tent out of a chest in the main foyer area, and the tent is going to be used for an upcoming glitch called the Mist Clip, where you can take half of a step, go into the menu, use a tent, and then that shifts the map and allows you to skip the town trigger, and you can actually enter the town of Mist from the right side, and that allows us to get items a little bit early, well, not a little bit early, an hour and a half early into the run. And those are very effective throughout most of the run, all of the Paladin run, but most of the any percent and any percent no 64 runs as well. My money is on Mylonzi. Also, one thing you might notice the runners doing is with the best step route, which I think almost every runner in this race is going to be doing. With the best step route, if you take one extra step in Baron, it avoids an encounter, and ideally you will get all the way to Mist Dragon with 0 encounters if you properly manipulated your the start of the game. So what step seed you get is based on when you press A on the title screen, and we also have a couple of other ways of manipulating it. Everybody sleepy time! This is awesome. And also, once again, while I have the opportunity, I want to thank Mooniz for the layout. The layout is very helpful and looks very awesome, so thank you, Mooniz. Had to get the intro in there. Alright, so the game begins here. You'll notice everybody's changing their battle speed and battle messages to speed 1. That is for the optimal battle speed. And in future releases of Final Fantasy, as well as the remakes, changing the battle speed to 6 is ideal because in this game it affects everyone, but in future games it only affects the enemies. So you'll notice everybody's grabbing a chocobo, and ideally you don't want to see any encounters in this cave if the manipulation was done correctly. I'm actually going to switch to all one really quick just to see if we get any. Looking good across the board. Oh, there's one. Looks like Velociraptor got one, as well as Brossentia. Oh, Eli also got one. But still, I can guarantee you this is the largest Final Fantasy IV race with a perfect step counter up to this point in existence. Alright, let's take a look. So the Mist Dragon is an interesting fight. It's meant to be a tutorial fight where the Mist Dragon transforms and you can't do any damage to her, and then once she reforms you keep doing damage. There's one thing that's going to be going on in this fight. There's really two important things. One is timing a jump with Kain as she's about to reform so that Kain lands as she coalesces. And the other, I would argue more important thing, is there is an item dupe glitch that's going to be performed on Cecil's shield, where if you take an item off and don't use the first slot to do so, you can actually trick the game into equipping an empty slot. And that allows you to dupe items and get basically all the money you'll ever need ever in this game. And you'll notice RotomPoison doing it right there. So hopefully everybody was able to dupe their Shadow Shield without too much issue. This little sequence right here of finishing the Mist Dragon fight as well as doing the Mist Clip is a major reset point and kind of like a major gate to those who are learning the speedrun. As we see, it looks like people are getting through. It's looking like Faflo did his dupe a little early, which is fine. Better to be safe than sorry. Looks like the TheSabin and Velociraptor are finishing up. Oh, it's looking like Zack struggled with the Mist Clip. That's not good. Hope he had a safety save. Looks like he might be going back for another tent. Yep. Genya is through. It looks like Rislyeu and Rivers are through. Looks like the TheSabin and Philo are working on it. Faflo is through. Alright, Rotom is through. Khobahi is also through. So there's a bit of a strat difference. In Rydia's house, normally in the speedrun you pick up the Tiara, which is a headgear that gives a ton of magic power and also defense. And you can also pick up the Change Rod, which gives 5 wisdom, which is a multiplier, 1.25 of a multiplier. And the Change Rod will help out your damage against Mylon Z. But that's about the only benefit it gives. So you're walking about 20 extra steps in order to get a Change Rod. That only helps for one fight. So some people elect not to grab the Change Rod, and some people do. So if you were watching right there, you'll notice Khobahi grabbed it where RotomPoison did not. So it's little nuances like that which are going to make or break people in this run. It's looking like Brossentia's having to do another battle in order to finish the dupe, as we get a nice little buffer there. Let's take a look where everybody's at. Looks like most people are in the bomb cutscene. Once again, Zack had to go back and get another tent to successfully do the Mist Clip, and it's looking like Brossentia is struggling a little bit with the dupe. Still a pretty close race so far. As there are 14 streams, I didn't quite see all the strats different people went for. I think the most common strat is grabbing, for Paladin only races, is grabbing Tiara only and not the Change Rod. because the tiara, the wisdom bonus on the tiara is almost equivalent to that of a change rod, except for the final Mylon Z fight. I don't think anybody skipped the tiara. That would be a little on the crazy side, especially of a race of this magnitude. So now, one thing that we've recently developed in the Final Fantasy IV speedrunning community is step routing past Mist Dragon, and I don't know if anybody is specifically going to be doing this. It's really not going to be a way to tell unless you see somebody taking extra steps in a weird spot. But we do have it so the encounters that we get past, basically past reload, are mapped out. And if you so choose, and you want to take the time, and you know where to do it, you can take extra steps to avoid encounters. But I'm not sure if people are choosing to do that here or not. So we're about to start the Kaipo in guard fight. It's a really simple battle. It's just you just beat up some guards and they leave. But this is the first usage of the can't run buffer trick, where you can, if you run away from a battle that you can't run from, you obviously get a can't run dialog box. But what that does is that freezes the ATB, and so in the guard fight you can potentially kill all 3 guards before they attack if you do can't run buffers. But it's also a bit of an ATB roll as well, so sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So you'll notice Rotom in the top left is doing the can't run buffers. It also looks like Rynzer is trying. So the guard fight is a good place to learn how to do the can't run buffer glitch, but and that's not really a glitch, but the can't run buffer strats. But it really doesn't have that many repercussions if you screw it up. Unlike Fabul, which is coming up in about a half hour, or a little under a half hour, where hitting the can't run buffers is pretty instrumental for going through there fast and safe. Alright, so you'll notice the party formation's getting moved around and Rydia is being equipped with the tiara. If Rydia does not have a tiara, Octomom can be a jerk face, and even if Rydia does have a tiara, he can choose to still be a jerk face. Without the tiara, Octomom has the chance to one-shot Rydia, but with the tiara on, I think the most he can do is 18 damage, which is still over half of Rydia's health. But defense definitely helps, there's no doubt about that. Looks like Brossentia was finally able to get his dupe situation sorted out, but he's a little bit behind. Alright, so all these 14 races, you're probably thinking, who is the most ahead right now? And to that, I'm looking at all the streams right now to give you an idea. It looks like Rivers is probably the furthest ahead at this point. riversmccown in the top left. He is already Titella. It looks like Fireball is not that far behind, followed by Rynzer and RotomPoison. But that discrepancy between times is, you know, any number of encounters. Somebody might have had less encounters up to that point and are going to get more, and it could be back attacks, it could be surprise attacks, it could be any number of things. So just because someone is ahead right now, that doesn't mean anything in terms of the grand scheme of this race. So one of the huge determining factors on whether or not you go fast in this game is back attacks and surprise attacks. And you'll notice if somebody gets a surprise attack, they have to wait for every enemy to attack before they can run away. And depending on what encounter pack you get, that's anywhere from, you know, 18 to 45 seconds of you just sitting there trying to run away and can't, and crying a lot. It looks like Jenya's Rydia got bopped, but that's going to be okay because you get a full heal in the tent cave. So if you're going to have bad luck, it's better to have it early in the in this cave than late for sure. Looks like Rivers is in the tent cave at 1740. That's a really good time. Let's take a look at some other people's. Looks like Fathlo is running up on the cave as well. Velociraptor and TheSabin not far behind. Rynzer Rotom already in the cave. Looks like Khobahi is one step outside. This group of 3 definitely very close. Brossentia a little bit behind at the inn, but Parlelian Fireball, looks like Fireball's already through the tent cave, and Eli stepping right up right now. So really not much to say about the Octomom cave. There's one treasure chest that's going to be picked up, that's going to be the Darkness Sword for Cecil. And what the Darkness Sword is basically gives Cecil, you know, more weapon damage. Makes him a little more potent, especially for Octomom, for Mom Bomb, and especially for Fabool. He definitely needs that damage upgrade. Alright. Nice little overview of where everybody's at. Just trying to take a look, trying to judge who's the furthest ahead right now. Looks like Fireball, actually, is currently in the lead. But once again, nope, I'm sorry, Rynzer is ahead of Fireball by a ways. I don't know, it's so back and forth, it's so hard to judge. And once again, this is a what we call Paladin percent race. Paladin percent is getting to the point where Cecil turns into a Paladin on Mount Ordeals. Basically right after Mylon Z and right after you fight Dark Knight Cecil as Paladin Cecil. Alright. So you notice riversmccown in the bottom right is grabbing the Darkness Sword. That is the one chest pickup in this cave. Alright, so for the second half of Octomom Cave, you're a child, an old man, and a guy in heavy armor jump down a waterfall to get to the bottom half of the cave. Don't ask me, I don't know. And we're about to start the Octomom fight. Octomom is a very trolly fight because if Octomom elects to hit Rydia, then there's not really much you can do except heal and lose time. So hopefully, ideally, you want Rydia to get through unhit the whole time. Sorry, I'm cycling through to see if anybody's in the fight yet. Alright, so Rynzer is about to start this fight. And the gimmick with Octomom is Octomom attacks very quickly until you reduce the number of tentacles Octomom has, and then Octomom slows down as you remove the tentacles. So in this fight, you want to hit Octomom as much as possible early on in order to reduce the tentacles, to reduce the speed that Octomom is going at. And then once you do that, Octomom slows down, you get more turns in, and the fight goes a little bit easier. So one thing, there's a couple of different strats in this fight, you'll notice. You'll notice that Fireball 13 has a different formation, and there's a lot of different formations going around here. So one of the strats used in this fight is to cast Stop on Tella after a certain point, because Tella's damage in this fight is very subpar. He could do over 100 with Lit 1, but that's not common. He could also do under 40 with Lit 1, so really, Tella is a wild card in this fight, but it's better to have Tella not taking his turns at all and wasting time than it is to actually do anything with him after a certain point, because Cecil and Rydia are both doing a ton of damage, especially Rydia. The Dancing Dagger pickup in Mist early is what allows Rydia to do so much damage. And ideally, you want to get as many turns on Rydia as possible, and stopping Tella does help with that. You'll notice Genya actually casts a Blink on Rydia, and what Blink does is it basically nullifies, is it 2 or I think it's 2 attacks. So you'll notice Octomom tried to hit Rydia there and missed. So that's a safe strat you can do in this fight. Genya getting trolled though. He knows. Octomom is always aware that you're trying to play it safe. Another Blink from Genya. It's looking like Faflo is almost through his fight, but his Rydia's on the ropes. One unlucky hit and Rydia could go down, but at the same time, Octomom should be about dead at this point. And there you go, Faflo is through. Velociraptor and TheSabin working on their Octomom fights. Looks like Rotom is also finished with his, and Rynzer as well. Khobahi just finishing up his. You'll notice they're going to Damsian. Some people are going to do what's called the Damsian skip, Damsian clip, where if you go into the menu right as the airship bombing cutscene is about to start, if you take a half step and go into the menu, you can actually save the game and reload it. And once you reload the game, you actually skip this cutscene, and it saves about 2 or 3 seconds. It's not really that substantial, but it's a very minor time save that people can do. Fireball is through. Brossentia is catching up, and Eli with a bit of that bad luck. Rydia on the floor. And a very bad thing is having Rydia dead at the end of the Octomom fight, because she needs all the experience she can get, specifically for Mom Bomb. Because when Mom Bomb explodes, Mom Bomb does a ton of damage. And in order for Rydia to have enough HP to survive it, you want her to live through every boss fight and get as much experience as possible. Oh, bad luck, Eli. Back attack and Rydia being dead. Ouch. That hurts. Alright, so you'll notice riversmccown in the top left is doing step route because he was walking back and forth. There's a Spoony Bard. I actually missed the first Spoony Bard. I'll grab this one. I'm sorry, everybody. You Spoony Bard! On Fathlow stream. Let's see if I can catch as many as possible here. riversmccown bottom right, you Spoony Bard! About to get one on Rislyeu stream as well. Oh, Jenny on top right, you Spoony Bard. You Spoony Bard. Spoony Bards all around, ladies and gents. Spoony Bards all around. Alright, let's take a look at some of the other streamers. Rynzer is already through the Edward fight, as is RotomPoison. Khobahi is about to be finished. Brossentia entering the Octomom battle. Fireball through the Edward fight already as well. Parlelian and Eli, not that far behind at all. So right now we probably have about 11 streamers who are within 20 to 30 seconds of each other. 11 people in this race. And, like, that's one back attack. There's, like, literally anything can happen. Anybody can, you know, get out ahead. Maybe they have a good C, they have a good encounter walk. They get, like, 3 encounters to the next place. And all of a sudden, oh, they're in first instead of ninth. So there's still a huge swing that could be done. So the upcoming dungeon is Antlion, the Antlion Cave. You need to get the Sand Ruby to cure Rosa in Kaipo, and the only way to get into the Antlion Cave is via the hovercraft, and of course, the Crown Prince of Damsian, Edward, has access to a hovercraft, and so you slap him around and get him to join you. There's not really too much to be said in Antlion Cave. I think the biggest thing is you want Rydia to survive the Antlion boss battle, as I mentioned with the Octomom boss battle. The only way Rydia is going to die on the way to Antlion or in the Antlion fight is probably because of a back attack, but if you do get a back attack, she does have a tendency to get sniped. And so there is a life 1 in a chest that's right along the way that people may elect to pick up, kind of a safe thing, only wastes maybe half a second. But a lot of people don't pick it up. We'll see who chooses to be safe and who is going for broke. And so one thing is that Rydia and Edward both are able to equip dancing daggers, and dancing daggers are basically incredibly overpowered for this point in the game. And so Antlion in a typical playthrough is actually a really difficult fight, because you have to, every physical attack that you do, he counters, and the counter does a lot of damage. But fortunately, Dancing Dagger active is considered a spell, and it's a spell that does, you know, 300 to 400 damage, and Antlion has 1000 HP, so it takes 3 to 4 daggers, and Antlion is toast. You'll notice Rynzer is through. I'm gonna take a look at everybody and see who we got in Antlion. Fathlo is in Antlion already. Looks like Rotom just finished Antlion. Khobahi is about to start. Let's take a look at Fireball on the bottom right there. Fireball is doing his Antlion fight. And it's worth noting, what's considered a quote-unquote decent Antlion time is, you know, below 28:30, and we have, what, 4 or 5 people who are in that range, so this is definitely going to be a close race for sure. Alright. We got Parlelian on the bottom right, also fighting Antlion. Excuse me. So Antlion is a bit of a pushover in the speedrun, thanks to Dancing Daggers. So not much to be said for the upcoming part. You walk out of Antlion Cave, you return to Kaipo, you heal Rosa, and then you have a showdown with the Water Hag, yeah! But unfortunately, you do have to walk all the way out of the cave. The good thing about the walk out of the cave, as opposed to the walk into the cave, is if somebody dies on the walk out, it's not that big of a deal because they're going to be resurrected by the time all of the cutscenes are over. Ouch, there's a back attack for Zack, who's already a little bit behind because of the missed clip botch. You'll see Rotom is already at Rosa. Rynzer not far behind. Let's see if we can get another evaluation of who is ahead and who is not. Alright, so Rotom is already at the cutscene. Rynzer's right behind him. Fathlo is also starting the cutscene right now. So I would say that's your top 3. And then Fireball 13 is right behind. But as I mentioned before, it's still anybody's race. Those top 4 that I just mentioned are probably within 5 to 10 seconds of each other. And so one back attack and that's it. They're not in the top 3 anymore. Alright, so I'm going to take you to the bottom left group of Rotom, Rynzer, and Khobahi, and we'll see the epic showdown with Water Hag. Which is slightly less epic when you have a Dancing Dagger. So when Edward has a harp, his accuracy is actually pretty crappy. And so if you don't have levels on Edward, or if you're unlucky, you can actually die to this Water Hag, even though it's supposed to be a story boss where you know, Edward sees this apparition of Anna and is inspired to do good things for the people of Damcian. But no, if you're unlucky and the harp misses or anything like that, you're gonna die. But fortunately, the Dancing Dagger has a little bit better accuracy. So the Water Hag actually has, you know, 60,000 hit points. No big deal, right? But the fight is scripted to end after 3 attacks. So Edward is really doing 60,000 damage because he's a beast. And there are a couple other fights in this game that are like that, where scripts will trigger after certain actions are performed, or basically bosses will die early based on hit point values, where that's not they don't actually die, they just reach a certain value and like, oh, I'm dead, they trigger oh, I'm dead cutscene, and then they die. Ah yes, MTI raises a good point. It's after 3 hits. This battle is specifically hits. You have to hit Water Hag. Alright, let's take a look around. Looks like Eli is beating up Water Hag as well. Fireball waking up and headed out of Kaipo, I think. Yes. Parlelian and Eli, right next to each other. Looks like Zack's already at Water Hag as well. It's a pretty good recovery for him. Jenya beating up Water Hag. Rislyeu just finishing as well. Looks like Rivers is right in the same spot. Is it this one? Yeah, okay. So Fathlo is on his way to Mount Hobbs. Mount Hobbs is where Rydia miraculously recovers from her fear of fire to burn down an ice wall. And then you are treated to one of the most trolly fights in the entire run. The Mom boss battle and also the beginning fight with Yang. So you pick up Yang and he's fighting these bombs by himself, and it can take him anywhere from 2 to 5 turns to kill these bombs. 2 if you're TAS, 3 is a good average, 4 is a bad average, and 5 you're just unlucky, but it can happen. And so those extra turns, between those turns, 2, 3, 4, 5, the imps are hitting you, and so that's extra time that you're losing. You can easily lose an uncontrollable 30-second good speed game, right? Take a look at the overview, see where everybody's at. You'll notice a lot of people burn down the ice wall. Looks like my playlist is a little bit ahead. So let me see if I can sneak a song in here. Or I just won't worry about it. That too. Alright, so I'm gonna switch again to the bottom left as they are in the Mom Bomb fights. You'll notice Rotom is already through the first fight. I'm sorry, didn't see how that turned out. So the way the Mom Bomb fight works is that you want to do 800 damage to the first form, and once you do 800 damage to the first form, it'll trigger an explosion. And Mom Bomb will explode, and then you'll get a dialogue box as it's exploding. And then Mom Bomb breaks into 6 separate bombs and does a ton of damage to the party. It's possible that Mom Bomb does Mom Bomb hits Edward or Rydia before exploding and then explodes and kills off one of those characters, and that's really bad because Rydia and Edward are your main damage dealers because they are able to equip the dancing daggers. So ideally you don't want that to happen. If you see in the top left, RotomPoison's Rydia has 5 hit points and just barely hanging on, even though she had got all the levels and all the boss battles and so on. And so it's really important that Rydia survives up to this point, and even then you could still get trolled. Looks like Rotom's gonna have a pretty good fight here. He's only got 2 orange bombs left. So the gray ones have more hit points than the orange ones do, and the gray ones like to explode a little bit. I think they explode a little bit quicker as well, and so they explode, they have more hit points, and because they have more hit points and they explode, they do more damage and hurt. It's not as important for people to survive this battle as it is in the prior battles. And especially not for a Paladin speedrun. That's more important for any percent or any percent no 64. Alright, so Rotom is through, Khobahi's about to be through, Rynzer's about to be through. Let's take a look at Fathlo. Looks like Fathlo has 1 bomb left, he's through. TheSabin just starting the Mom Bomb fight, Velociraptor's starting the Mom Bomb fight. Looks like Fireball just finished. Parlelian and Eli are about in the same spot, Parlelian a little bit ahead. Take a look. Looks like Zack is just starting the Mom Bomb sequence as well. Jenya just finishing up Mom Bomb. Rivers is completely done with Mom Bomb, as is Rislyeu. So it's still within a minute. There's easily 11 people within a minute right now, and it's gonna come down to the wire, and I couldn't be more excited about it. This is gonna be really awesome. So I'm gonna switch to everybody here and point out that the walk from Mount Hobbs to Fagul is one of the highest encounter rate walks in the game. You get 10 encounters per 256 steps, which is the highest encounter rate in the game, and that persists all the way to Fabul, and that also persists all the way to Mount Ordeals from Nisidia, except for like 2 or 3 steps, which aren't at that rate. So you're gonna see everybody get a lot of encounters, except if they've done step route. The step route is a little forgiving, usually on this walk right here. You'll notice in the bottom left, Rynzer has a back attack with six enemies, and that's gonna put him back about 35-40 seconds, and that's just tough luck. So, alright, so I have it on everybody. Just I want to see who gets into Fabul first on my end. It's looking like it's gonna be Fathlo. Fathlo 23 is the first one to Fabul, and then Khobahi and RotomPoison right behind. You'll notice that Khobahi safety saved, and that's because Fabul can be uncontrollably trolly. So Edward, you're reduced to Cecil Gang and Edward in the Fabul sequence, and you have to do a sequence of about 7 fights. And within those 7 fights, the guards have the capability of doing however much damage they want to Edward. They can do 93, they can do 10, and if you lose Edward, then your whole entire Fabul sequence slows down, and it's very unfortunate. Alright, so I'm going to switch to the top left here. And we can watch Rivers enter, as well as Genya and Rislyeu's walks to Fabul. Ooh, Genya. Ouch. Curse of the stream, man. Curse of the stream. But let's see if we can find somebody who's actually in the Fabul sequence. Okay, so here we got Fathlo in the Fabul sequence. It looks like he's in the first fight. So one thing you can do in Fabul is as the guards are running away, you can move items around in your inventory and make it a little bit cleaner. And this is also the first really huge usage of the can't run buffer glitch that I mentioned earlier. So if you run away, trigger the can't run dialogue, and then throw a dancing dagger, you have the potential to throw it before the guards attack. You'll notice Fathlo doing it right there, and by doing that, you kill a guard before they attack, and so you have to deal with one less, 93 potential 93 damage hit. I'm gonna switch again. Looking like Khobahi, Rotom, and Rynzer are all super close to each other. I'm actually going to replay this last song I did. Try and sync up a little bit. Alright, so we've started the Fabul sequence. I'm going to switch to all really quick to see if anybody's Edward has taken a little bit of extra damage. You'll notice Rotom's Edward is at 74, Khobahi's is at 81. I got 100 on the top right, and Velociraptor. Edward's struggling. Oh, Edward is down on the TheSabin stream, so that's really unfortunate. Let me go ahead and switch over. You'll see Edward is napping peacefully on the ground there. That's never a good thing. And even when Edward is in the weakened state, as you'll notice, he'll just automatically hide, and so he basically becomes totally useless once he's below 25% HP, even if he's dead or if he's weak. So it's really unfortunate to have Edward get bopped early in this sequence. I'm gonna switch over to the top left here. We got Rivers is flirting with Edward damage. I believe I saw the 40s. For Edward, and that's never a good thing. Hopefully he's able to skate through without too much of a problem. Rislyeu able to hit that can't run buffer without a problem. Looks like he might actually kill. So there's a very small chance, depending on ATB rolls, that you can kill both guards before they attack, and that's obviously ideal, but it's very rare. Let's take a look around. Brossentia coming off of Mount Hobbs. Looking like Parlelian's Edward is doing pretty well. 102 of 112, that's just a level up. Ooh, Fireball with the dead Edward. Deadward is never... I guess Deadward's better than Hiding Edward, but still, it's a definite time loss when Edward goes down. Very unfortunate that that would happen, especially in a race of this magnitude. Ooh, looks like the Sabin's hanging on for dear life. Edward hiding, Cecil almost dead. Yang's still kicking though. It looks like Faflo is going to be through. So another time loss that's basically uncontrollable is this fight with Kayn right here. Kayn can either do enough damage to Cecil to put him below 25% hit points, which happened right there. And that's what's called the fast fight, where you only get one more dialogue box after that. Kayn says, "Got you!" and then he jumps again, and then the fight's over. Whereas if you don't get put into weakened state, then you have to sit through 2 or 3 more dialogue boxes, get hit by Kayn, and then you have to sit through another perished box, which wastes, I don't know, probably about 20 seconds. And so it's really unfortunate when that does happen. Let's take a look around again. Looks like Rotom and Khobahi are both through the Kayn fight, so they're very ahead. Rynzer just starting his Kayn fight. Eli is about to start his Kayn fight. Fireball obviously starting his fight. Looks like Parlelian got the fast kill, so that's good. Fireball also going to get the quick kill for Kayn. Let's take a look at everybody, see what we got here. Ooh, not looking good for the Sabin. Cecil's down, Edward's hiding, only Yang, and 3 battles left to go. I don't know about that one, guys. It does look like most people are managing to get through this sequence. Maybe the Sabin is our only victim here, but for the most part, everybody's through. Let's watch. Oh no, the weak from the gargoyle is gonna seal the deal. Ouch. Let's get a Bible thump for the Sabin. Poor guy. Oh, doesn't look like he saved either. Ouch. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Alright, so we're coming out of Fabul. You get the Black Sword from the King of Fabul, which the Black Sword has a special property where it increases Cecil's agility, and when hitting enemies, it has the chance to instantly kill them. Some people like to use this instant kill mechanism to kill off party members in the Mylon fight, in order to give Palom more experience so that he has Fire 2 for the Mylon Z fight. There are a myriad of different strategies that can be employed for the upcoming Mylon and Mylon Z battles, and even like some strategies are considered quote-unquote more consistent than others, and some are a little more risky. And at the end of the day, it comes down to what Mylon decides to do to you. Mylon Z will be the gatekeeper of who makes the rest of this tournament, especially because everybody is so close right now. Alright, it looks like RotomPoison is the first one to the boat, and Khobahi is... I'm sorry, Faflo23 is the first one to the boat. RotomPoison and Khobahi are immediately right behind. And, you know, everybody else is, you know, coming out of Fabul. It's still super close. Looks like Zack's finishing up Fabul. Very good comeback for Zack. Jenya's walking out of Fabul as well. Rislyeu getting out of Fabul. Rivers starting the boat team. Yep. Looks like the Sabin is out. Ouchies. Unfortunate. Looks like Eli got an encounter on the way to the boat. Always fun, always annoying. Fireball's on the boat, Parlelian's on the boat. Brossentia is... Looks like Brossentia's having a little bit of difficulty through Fabul with having a little napping Edward there. Alright, so before I talk about Mylon and Mylon Z, which I already have a little bit, I want to talk about Mysidia. There's been a number of different strategies that have developed over the course of this tournament, one of which is to not buy anything in Mysidia and go completely risky, buy items in Fabul first, and then just get the twins and get out of Mysidia as fast as possible. That's one school of thought, and I do believe Fathlo was one of the people who was doing that. I don't know if he's doing that now. Another school of thought is to only buy items, only buy Cure 2s, Lives, Ethers, and so on. And then get the twins and get out of there. That skips buying the equipment that's in Mysidia. And then, obviously, the last school of thought is buying items, buying equipment, and then getting the twins. So there's only there's 2 boss fights left in Paladin %, and so I guess that's why people think skipping equipment here is good. And it's really not a bad idea, because, you know, it's equipment, you know, it's not that important. The only thing that's really truly important in Mysidia Armor Shop is the Gaia Helm, which gives more magic power, and obviously armor. Mylon Z likes to do a lot of damage to the twins. Without armor, they can get 2-shot, or maybe even, I think I've seen a 1-shot once, and that's just unfortunate. But in any case, what people decide to do in Mysidia in terms of buying/not buying can make or break this race. I'm actually gonna go to the bottom left here. It looks like Khobahi is buying items, so he's at least going to take the route, the safer-ish route, if that's even a word. I didn't see if Rotom bought items or not. I'm assuming he talked to the twins first. He went to the Elder first, but I can't say that for sure. It doesn't particularly matter what order you do your buying / cutscene in. What I usually do is I do it based on whether or not I'm getting trolled by NPCs. Looks like Rotom's just going for it. Kudos to him, man. Jenya, Rislyeu are in the Mysidia. Rivers is in the cutscene. Zack not far behind. Eli getting into Mysidia. Looks like Fireball decided to buy items. Parlelian doing the cutscene. Brossentia just getting out of Fabul. Let's take a look. I already did those. That's the one I wanted. Fathlo looks like he's on his way to Mount Ordeal. Oh, he's already halfway there. That's exciting. Velociraptor picking up that equipment. River's on his way to Mount Ordeals. Let's take a look at everybody. It's really hard to judge where people are when I'm switching between them so much. Okay, so it looks like Fathlo is already all the way to Mount Ordeals. Looks like he had a really good walk there, and so it looks like Fathlo is currently your leader, and RotomPoison is actually ahead of him. RotomPoison currently your leader, followed by Fathlo, and then any number of people could be in third right now, depending on encounters and what happens. Looks like Khobahi got a back attack. Rynzer is almost there to Mount Ordeals. Oh man, this is such a close race. I'm so excited. Fireball well on his way. Yeah, I would definitely say RotomPoison and Fathlo are first and second place so far. That looks pretty established. Khobahi has reached Mount Ordeals, as well as Rynzer. Oh boy, this is a close one. And there's Parlelian. Parlelian making a bit of a comeback here. riversmccown also reaching Ordeals. This is going to be a really, really tight race. I'm so excited. Alright, so one thing to watch out for on Mount Ordeals is there are a number of very, very, very nasty encounters you can get into. There's like 7 zombies, there's 4 souls and 2 skeletons, and if you get a back attack on any of those, that's easily 30 plus seconds, 30, 40, 50 seconds that you have no control over. And so that could make or break you. Speaking of which, Fathlo getting one of those such encounters. That's, you know, that's just unfortunate. That's the way the game works, man. Looks like Rotom is talking to Tella already. Rynzer and Khobahi basically in the same spot. Eli and Parlelian doing Golbez scene as well as Fireball. Parlelian is just getting out of it, so he's not that far behind Khobahi and Rynzer. Not that one. This one. Jenya and Rislyeu also doing the Mylon cutscene. You know what? I'm gonna go with the big one again. I like the big one, I'm sorry. Makes it easier for me to see all the streams and what's going on here. Ooh, Rynzer with a soul back attack. That's gonna slow him down pretty bad on your bottom left. Oh, looks like Fathlo got another back attack. This game is not being kind to Fathlo 23. He already had a 4 skeleton, 1 zombie back attack, and now he's got the 4 soul, 2 skeletons back attack. Literally the worst possible back attack to get on this mountain. It looks like RotomPoison is already at Mylon. So RotomPoison is running away with it. But like I said, anything can happen. With RotomPoison employing a bit of a different strategy here. He's going to Cure 2 all of the zombies as well as twin them. Looks like he got Comet. Comet's actually very good when you're doing this strat because it does equal amounts of damage to everything. So he's actually going to Cure 2 Mylon, but that's okay. All the zombies are dead already. He also got Go My Children, which is very good. He skips a lit one. Khobahi is about to start the Mylon fight as well. Let's take a look around. Jenya getting close. Rivers is starting his fight. I'm gonna go back to all. You know, I'm gonna watch Rotom do his because he's in first. And then I'll switch around. I'm trying my best not to jump around too much. I'm just getting excited. I gotta watch everything. So you'll notice that Rotom actually has Cure 1s. He does not have Cure 2s. That's because he did skip buying Infobull, and his twin damage is suffering a little bit because of it. I think he actually forgot to switch Porom and Palom and to use Tiara as the twin damage. And so he's actually, with doing a Comet in I think 2 flares, he's gonna run into MP problems. Yeah, as you'll see right there. The twins didn't go off, and now he's having to ether both of them, so that's going to set him back a little bit. And you'll notice Khobahi in the top right is employing, I guess, the more common strategy where you use Cure 2 on all the zombies, and then the twin immediately hits Mylon, and you want it to be a flare. Another Comet for Rotom, and twins are not being polite. That's the 4th twin for Rotom, and he's still in the Mylon fight. Flare for Khobahi, he's going to like to see that. He might not like seeing the 730, but the flare is definitely good. Ooh, Palom died for Rotom too. He's not having a good time with it. So like I said, anything can happen in this game. Rotom went into this fight probably a minute ahead of everybody. And Mylon's not having any of that, man. Not having any of it. Ooh, my buddy from Rotom stream. Let's take a look around. Looks like Fathlo is already through Mylon as well, so Fathlo making a comeback after 2 nasty back attacks. You'll see Fathlo has 2 piggies. What piggy does is it prevents Mylon from poisoning you when he hits you. So, and all the poison dialogue wastes a ton of time, so ideally you want Mylon to be hitting one of the piggy people, but of course Mylon chooses to hit a twin. Oh man, this is intense. I'm trying to keep up with this as best as I can. You got Creative Eli doing his Mylon fight as well as Fireball. Looks like Parlelian is finished with his Mylon fight, is going into Mylon Z. He's already got piggy people. He's healing up everybody. He's going into the Mylon Z fight. I'm gonna take a look at everybody if I can. Rotom is in his Mylon Z fight. Fathlo's in his Mylon Z fight. Parlelian is about to start his Milan Z fight. riversmccown also in his Milan Z fight. You'll notice riversmccown has 4 piggies. That completely prevents poison. He's just going to spam Cure 2s all the way through. It doesn't matter if anybody dies. He's spamming Cure 2s out. And this is getting really, really excited. Fathlo 23. Probably in first, I'm guessing. I don't have any definitive answer because I haven't been able to watch everybody at the same time. Oh, there's a flare from Fathlo. And Milan Z is down for Fathlo. He is in first place currently, but who knows? There's still 4 or 5 steps left where he can get an encounter. Looks like Rivers Cure 2 spamming. Jenya fighting Milan Z. I'm doing my best to identify any shakies. But all 3 in the bottom left are in the Milan Z fight. Top left, riversmccown, Milan Z is down. Fathlo in the cutscene. Your current leader is Fathlo 23, followed by riversmccown in second place with his make everybody a pig and spam Cure 2 strats. Gotta love it, man. Gotta love it. And looks like Jenya, out of nowhere, suddenly in third place with a couple of lucky flares and some damage. Bottom left, RotomPoison started the Milan fights in first place, now in fourth, but it's super close to Jenya. Oh, it could come down to damage luck on this Dark Knight fight. Khobahi in 5th place. So close, so close. This is going to be so good. Oh, man. This is so close. This is so close. I think Fathlo has the win in the bag, and I think riversmccown is in second, but man, oh man, 3rd place is going to be super close. And even then, even if one of these players messes up any kind of equipment, or like say they throw the legend sword instead of the dancing dagger by accident, anything can happen. Anything can happen in these last couple of fights. There it is, Fathlo 23, your winner of the Ravine or Paladin race. Cecil became a Paladin about an hour 30. I actually shouldn't say that without seeing. Fathlo's official time and speedruns live, 1 hour, 17 seconds. riversmccown, second place, 1 hour, 52 seconds. Great times for those two. Great times. And ladies and gentlemen, your 3rd place finisher is Jenya 23 with a time of 1 hour, 1 minute, and 18 seconds. That is an incredible comeback from Jenya. Oh my goodness. Alright, looking through some other finishing times here, we got RotomPoison in 4th place. Really unfortunate luck from Rotom there. Finishing with a 1 hour, 1 minute, and 30-second time. Khobahi in 5th place with a 1 hour, 1 minute, 40-second time. Parlelian in 6th with a 1 hour, 2 minute, 1 second time. Rislyeu in 7th, 1 hour, 2 minutes, 12 seconds. Eli in 8th, 1 hour, 2 minutes, 17 seconds. Fireball 9th, 1 hour, 2 minutes, 19 seconds. Rynzer in 10th. Rynzer was one of the first ones to start the Milan fight, so a little bit of unfortunate luck for Rynzer, with a time of 1 hour, 2 minutes, 26 seconds. Velociraptor 42, 11th place, with a 1 hour, 2 minutes, and 29-second time. And this is such a close race. Like, we had 11 people finish within 2 minutes, almost 2 minutes of each other. And if you look at the times, the average times of this race, even the 11th place time of 1 hour, 2 minutes, 29 seconds, that would like compete with any of our time, anybody in this entire tournament. Those are very, 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 very competitive times, and I don't think we could have asked for a better race. So this has been a totally, totally amazing race. Holy cow. ThatsFairZack finishing up at 1 hour, 3 minute, 23 second time, despite having issues with the misclip. That's a very, very good time. I think maybe if Zach hadn't have had that early issue, he might have been moving on to the next round, but that's really unfortunate. Alright, so it looks like we have Brossentia finishing up, as well as Rynzer's done. Oh, I'm sorry, the TheSabin drop, that's right. So I'll go ahead and put Brossentia up here. Brossentia fighting Mylonzi, the true pigs of justice. So once again, congrats to Fathlow23 for winning the Ravine or Paladin race. You get to be a Paladin today, as well as riversmccown in 2nd place, congrats, and Jenya in 3rd. Jenya just wants to take me out, I see how it is. Man, what a close race. Very exciting. I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did. I tried my best to keep up to date on what was happening at the end. So, I hope you guys enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun. Looks like Brossentia got a little bit of bad twin luck with the comment, but Cecil coming through in the clutch with the stab. Good old stabby stab. I do believe Brossentia had some issues with his duping and had to retry the dupe multiple times. But man, what a race. What a race. Going over the numbers, Fathlow was the first to finish with an hour 17. And then within 2 minutes of that, we had 8 people finish. 8 people within 2 minutes. Crazy, crazy, crazy. So in all that revelry, I wasn't able to talk about the strats for this Dark Knight fight, which I believe Brossentia will be doing here. Where, so the Dark Knight, how you're supposed to do the fight story-wise, you're supposed to stand there and let the Dark Knight hit you a couple times, and he's like, oh, justice is not the only right in this world, and then you win. But the Dark Knight actually only has 1,000 hit points, and because you have the Dancing Dagger early, you can just be like, oh, hey, Cecil, use his Dancing Dagger and conquer your inner demons by stabbing them. And so he does, and it's faster to do it that way. And there you have it. Dark Knight defeated. So shout outs to all 14 racers. Thank you all for taking the time out of your Saturdays for to make this race. I really do appreciate it. We all here, the whole admin team, Elmegus, the Roth, Kata, Poexel, we all appreciate it. Shout outs to Elmegus for tirelessly entering matches into the dock and scheduling, helping me force people to schedule. He's been doing a really great job of being Supreme Leader. And so we are on to the double elimination stages, ladies and gents. So these matches will be coming up all in the next week. It's going to be, the final 3 are going to be Roth against, I believe it was Fathlo. Yes, Roth versus Fathlo. Bick versus riversmccown, and Neerrm against Genya23. As well as the additional double elimination bracket matches. Once again, thank you everybody for watching. You just witnessed a 14-man high-level FF4 race to Paladin of epic shenanigans. Hope you all have a good Saturday.